Hello, everyone. I am Mrs. La-Dene Forrester Lambe, and I'd like to welcome you to this night's session of Management Information Systems. In tonight's session, you will hear from different groups as we deliver solutions prepared for the scenario presented in practical project number 3. In addition to that, you'll be given the opportunity to assess each presenting group on their performance tonight. I look forward to this collaborative effort and these carefully considered presentations. Practical project number 3, the topic is identifying opportunities for strategic information systems. And each of you prepared your presentation based on this scenario that has been given. The purpose of these sessions is to ensure that students understand what's due, when it's due, and how to get all points. It's to ensure that you don't fall behind in your coursework and to make sure that all groups are functioning properly. How have we been doing this? Well, we've been using a few collaboration techniques. We've used the collaboration tool Zoom to facilitate team building sessions. We've used the learning management system Moodle to host our interactive slides. You have prepared case study presentations and shared with your colleagues. Currently, you're working on a research project, and of course, our unit practical projects are another way that you have worked on developing yourself during this course. We've used gamification, and finally, you had your first test. Congratulations on making it this far in the course, and I'm hoping that we will continue to do excellent work. Just some housekeeping before we go into our presentations. For group number 7, I did receive practical project 2 slides, but there wasn't a recording. So I'm asking you just to send the link with the recording so that I can give you a grade for that project. Like I mentioned, you will be the persons assessing your peers tonight. A portion of the grade that they will receive comes from you, and the other portion of the grade comes from me. Tonight, you'll be assessing them on their delivery, the organization of the presentation, as well as content. What does the organization look like? It covers 3 areas: whether or not the presentation was appropriate, how the information was presented. Was it presented in a logical sequence? It looks at what sources were cited. How do you validate the work that you're doing? And then we look at the content. Did you use an attention-getting introduction? Do you define the problem clearly? This sets the framework for the rest of the presentation. Have you broken down the technical terms and defined any language that may be appropriate for the target audience? Have you ensured that your presentation contains accurate information? And the material included, have you ensured that it's relevant to the overall message or purpose? We also look at whether or not you summarized your entire presentation. Every presentation has to have a summary of your main points at the end. Finally, we look at your delivery. Have you maintained eye contact? Now, you're probably wondering, okay, how do we do this? So the speaker in your group, who, whenever you have someone speaking, you're going to have them turn on their camera while they're speaking. And then after they're finished, you're free to turn your camera off. We also look at how clear and audible your voice is and whether or not your delivery is poised, controlled, and smooth. We assess how well you were able to pronounce words. We look at your visual aids, the length of your presentation. And this presentation is about 15 to 30 minutes. And of course, how well your information is communicated. So I will be sharing a link with you in the chat. And this link is a digital form which each of you will have access to. This form is the rubric that you will be using to assess the presenting group. Now, if you are in a group, you don't assess yourself. You will assess every group that you are not in, basically. So if group 1 is presenting, that means from groups 2 to 7 is going to be able to assess group 1. Group 1 is not going to assess themselves. If group 7 is presenting, all the other groups except for group 7 assesses them. Is that clear? Okay, I'm taking it that it's clear. All right, I'm going to share the link to the rubric with you. Kindly click on the link and confirm that you are able to access it. Okay, Kyra, are you able to access the link?
Yes, miss, I'm in.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so let's do attendance before we go any further. Tyler?
Present, miss.
Melanie?
Yes, miss, I'm right here.
Juan Jose?
No.
Present, ma'am.
Santiago? Kaylee? Leonce?
Present, miss.
Araceli? Alyssa?
Present.
Tyler?
Here, miss.
Ronell? Daniel? Kenroy? Fidel?
Present, miss.
Ivani?
Present.
Dijon?
Present, miss.
Miriam?
Present.
Kyra?
Present, miss.
Sophia?
Present.
Chelsea?
Present.
Cheyenne? Jenny?
Present, miss.
Kenya?
Here, miss.
Xiomara?
Here, miss.
Brandon?
Present.
Anthony? Martha?
Here, miss.
Shamika?
Present.
Herwin?
Present.
Sandra? Vashti? Oh, Sandra is here. Thank you. Vashti?
Here.
Keon?
Here, miss. And Anthony is here too, miss, but can't talk.
Oh, thank you. Randine?
Present, miss.
Thank you. All right. So we are going to go into tonight's presentations. The persons I have marked absent are as follows: Cheyenne, Kenroy, Daniel, Ronell, Araceli, Kaylee, and Santiago.
Miss Kelly, Miss Kelly in a message.
Oh,
Sally here, present, miss.
Araceli is here as well. Okay. So we will be using an activity to select our groups tonight. And when your group is selected, then you go ahead and you share.
Miss, can we volunteer?
You want to volunteer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Still start the group one, Miss.
Oh, you're in group one?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess it was yours after all. All right, so group one, you can take it away. Let me stop sharing.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Information systems and organization influence one another. Information systems are built by managers to serve the interests of the business firm, no? And at the same time, the organization must be aware of and open to the influences of information system to benefit from new technologies. The interaction between information technology and organization is complex, right? And it is influenced by many mediating factors, including organization's structure, business processes, politics, culture, surrounding environment, and management decisions, as we are all aware of that now. And in this presentation, we will discuss the factors taken into account when UP implemented their information systems. Presenters are no other than Miriam Mess, Kenya Portillo, Martha Rosas, Kerwin Timmons, and yours truly, Brandon Quinteros. Without further ado, we proceed on to the objectives of this presentation, which are for you all to become knowledgeable and grasp an understanding of the organization's features such as structure, business processes, politics, culture, environment, and management decisions. Recognize the online information system at UB, have a knowledge in how these impacts the successful implementation and utilization of the information systems, as well as to become aware of UB's organizational features such as business processes, culture, structure, and environment, and its political strategy. Next slide, please. All right. I'll now leave the task here on.
Okay, the first one we have here is the UB website. The UB website adds value to the institution and it is an asset. The previous slide, Mary, please, Miriam. The previous one, Miriam. Yes, that one. The UB website helps to access information about the institution and its program. As well, it helps to access information, the application form. And lastly, the UB website helps to access information such as the Moodle and the Senegrade. Next slide, please. We now move on to the organizational structure. Next slide. And the organizational structure defines the manner in which the roles, power, and authority and responsibilities are assigned and governed, and depicts how information flows between the information levels of hierarchy in an information. The University of Belize is a professional bureaucracy. They engage in a professional manner responsible to carry out policy and regulation of the institution. UB is relatively formalized but decentralized to improve autonomy to professionals. The University of Belize has a management structure of chair, deans, board of directors, and directors of trustees. UB is a knowledge-based organization and relies on the skills and knowledge of professionals to provide their goods and services. The University of Belize organizational type will be classified as a professional bureaucracy. The structure at the University of Belize is a command and control. Next slide, please.
We now have the business process. So what is the business process?
Business process refers to set of logical related activity for accomplishing a specific business result. Business process at the University of Belize include application, registration, withdrawals, and payments. Let's talk about the registration, which is one of the projects we did in the past 2 class, I guess. So for registering, applicants visit the university for the first time to drop their documents. They have to wait for more than 2 weeks for a response, and they even have difficulties locating the admission office. They are sometimes kept on hold. This may be because of missing transcript, academic suspension, etc. Additionally, requested program might be full. Only the 5 majors may register for the program. Minimum GPA required for the program, and these are just some of the many problems faced by applicants when registering. This is how the registration process is time and money consuming. Also, when registering, the applicant must go through some processes, and these include applicants should firstly download the application form or start registration online. They must also should gather supporting documents, complete application form, pay a non-refundable $30 at any UB cashier or at the Atlantic Bank, submit application form before or by the deadline. Admission will then process the application and notify the applicant of necessary additional documents. And lastly, wait 1 to 2 weeks for a response of either acceptance or rejection. Next slide, please.
We now move on to the organizational politics. What organizational politics is all about? Organizational politics refers to a variety of activities associated with the use of influence tactics to improve personal or organizational interests. Organizational use of information technology has evolved dramatically over time. The University of Belize holds in organizational professional bureaucracy and how political resistance severely hampers organizational change. The UB consists of internal policies.
Okay. So to add to what Martha said, the organization's use of information technology has evolved dramatically over time, and it encompasses a wide range of hardware and software technologies used by organizations to supply data, information, and knowledge, as well as information systems. All of this demonstrates how the University of Belize holds sway in organizational professional bureaucracy and how political resistance severely hampers organizational change. This is all owing to the quick development of technology. And since UB is a knowledge-based organization and rely on the skills and knowledge of professionals to provide their goods and services, the University of Belize organizational type will be classified as a professional bureaucracy. Next slide, please.
So now we have the organizational culture. So organizational culture. So what is organizational culture? It is a conductive, effective information management where the value and utility of information in achieving operational and strategic goal is recognized. While organizational cultures at the secondary and tertiary levels are different, my group and I were able to adjust to a new culture at the University of Belize in terms of behavioral and technical approaches. For instance, when I was in junior college, I altered my behavioral strategy and avoided being aware of the rights I embraced at the college. But now as a UB student, I focus on emphasizing my obligation as a learner and how I was only accountable to myself. The technical approach at the junior college was primarily meant to prepare me for life, but my time at the University of Belize reassured me that by working together, we can strengthen a nation. Therefore, there is not much academic freedom at the university, there are guidelines and regulations that must be observed. For example, our course outlines are standardized. Nevertheless, the professors at the University of Belize are extremely competent. As a consequence to that, because human resources are complementary assets, information system may be simply adopted. So here we have the mission and vision statement at the University of Belize. Moving on, we have the organizational environment. So the organizational environment, the two characteristics that make up the organizational environment are the physical and social environment. The physical environment is concerned with the building, landscape, and appearance, while the social environment is concerned with the people within the organization. Hence, the university has a social and physical environment that is able to change over time. Its physical location stands strong at their central campus in Belmopan. However, they consist of 4 locations in the country, which is Punta Gorda in the Toledo district, headquarters in the capital of Belize, which, as I mentioned, in Belmopan, Western Cayo district at Central Farm, and last but not least, Belize City. Plus, the University of Belize offers both online and face-to-face learning approach to students using management information system. As my other colleague will get in more in depth with the information system that the university utilizes. Teachers and students build the social environment, which is impacted by excellent conduct, resulting in successful usage and implementation of information system.
We now move on to the management decisions. Next slide, please. Management decisions. So management decisions making is choosing a course of action after considering different options to accomplish an organization's goal. Management involves problem solving, budgeting, coaching, planning, organizing, staffing, and controlling. So the university operates with a board of directors, which we would call like maybe the trustees, and the board is set in place to guide the organization on a successful path. And some of these above traits, which determine the success of an information system, are taken into consideration by the organization's management when making decisions. They can increase their operational effectiveness and also their dependability to their users by using the information system. And of course, this aids in decision making because they may use raw data to do so, as well as improve customer service, keep information systems continuously available, increase interaction between the students and their lecturers, and also draw more students towards the school. Next slide, please.
All right, so let's talk about the information systems that the University of Belize employs. So we have Moodle, Centigrade, and student email, which is a Google Suite app now. They are all accessible through the university's main website. So first, there is Moodle. Can we proceed on to the next slide? All right, thank you. So Moodle is a learning management system, and UB lecturers deliver and manage training materials and Moodle, which provides the framework for managing every aspect of the learning process. Moodle improves the learning efficiency. As students can choose from a variety of learning resources, engage in conversation with peers and teachers, and avoid static learning with Moodle. We avoid static learning with Moodle, as it includes features that support educational online activities like videos, forums like the one we do on a weekly basis for this course, chat materials, and we also get tests. And so how the end users at the University of Belize use Moodle. First pointer that I have on my presentation slide is that Moodle improves the learning efficiency. It improves the learning efficiency, by avoiding the static learning by involving, learning activities such as video, discussion forums, chat materials, and quizzes, as I have alluded earlier now. And it provides a space for lecturers to share course content, and feedback to students. Lecturers are able to upload PowerPoint presentations, link to YouTube videos, anytime, anywhere, access, to the course content and activities. Then the third pointer that I have there is that teachers collect student work by creating submission portals where students can upload assignment files. And these submission portals enable students to submit work through an online text tool and attachments. And again, these submissions are being able to be done anywhere, anytime, once we have access to the internet. We'll now proceed on to discussing some of the drawbacks of Moodle. On my personal opinion, the aesthetic appeal of the platform is not as high, as other programs. Interfaces that look good are worth the investment. User-friendly visual designs, have added benefit of making the website look well organized and well designed, and users are more likely to explore a site that is visually appealing and are more tolerant of minor system issues. Moodle, in my opinion, has too much white space. However, other students may feel different about this, And then I also have that there are numerous hidden features, and proficient use of them necessitates platform training. Sometimes, we are unsure of how certain icons work. For example, my group and I are transfer students, and we were unaware of the functionality of the majority of the Moodle icons. We were unaware that Moodle provided a grade report for each course until another classmate, informed us about it, pardon us for our ignorance, But not, and then lastly, we have that not every lecturer makes use of Moodle to improve student learning. For one of my face-to-face classes, we have not used Moodle yet, and all assessments are done in class, and we must take notes in our books and so. And what this causes is it's a major drawback, as it does not enhances the learning process of all students, as not all lecturers are using Moodle, When it comes to the rating on a scale of 1 to 10, we as users of the system would give it an 8 because it occasionally crashes and isn't very responsive. Overall, it is an asset to the university because it was able to provide learning services during the pandemic and up until this point. I mean, we're able to take this class online, and I would say that we have seen how Moodle has added value to the university by assisting UB in achieving operational excellence and surviving, delivering their service during a pandemic and up to the present. And then lastly, I have culture, environment, and structure all affects its success. Leading on to discussing the other information system, which would be Centigrade. Under Centigrade, I have that Centigrade is, next slide, please. Yeah, Centigrade is simple and provides straightforward, quick guides to intuitive features and commands. It has sections for things like instructions for online payments, the academic policies, downloadable forms, access to academic calendar, my account, a search bar for courses, a transfer matrix, among other useful features. When it comes to the rating, next slide, please. We, again, as system users, would rate it an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, as it occasionally crashes when all students are attempting to register for classes at the start of the semester. We had to endure this issue. We are transfer students, and we were not fully acquainted with how Centigrade works. And at the beginning, when we were trying to register the system, boom, crashed. And so we were kind of a bit disappointed. Plus, we were last, so you could imagine the level of frustration we endured at that point. So hence the reason we come up with our rating of 8 out of 10, as it occasionally crashes. And what I would say, ultimately, it is an asset to the university because it enables students, to register on their own, keep track of their account balance, and learn about payment changes whenever they need to. And this system adds value as it helps with improved decision making. Why do I say this? Is because after students have registered, the persons in positions of authority at the university receive reports and registration data, and the information is used to make decisions such as whether or not to run a program based on student enrollment, among other things. Now we see how this web-based registration system adds values to the university now, and its success is influenced by business practices, culture, and management decisions. Lastly, enhancing and automating educational registration programs along with fast responses, support times, and extensive system features, some of which are exclusive and are a major focus of Zenegrade. Last but not least, we have the discussing the utilization of Google Apps Suite, where we have lectures using Google Apps Suite like Gmail on a daily basis to communicate with students and other lecturers. And it is used by us, the students, to communicate with lecturers and among our peers. No? And while using these Google Apps Suite, there is real-time collaboration. We work in a single document, like with teammates, see edits as other types, communicate through built-in chat, and ask questions in comment. As a matter of fact, in getting this PowerPoint presentation done, there was real-time collaboration as we distributed the tasks, and then a Google slide was created and we add on our parts. So we see that there is real-time collaboration and multiple people can work at the same time using Google Apps Suite, and every change is just saved automatically. And when we want to share files, like we invite others to either view and then they download it and then collaborate on any file, and then there's no email attachment needed. That's what I have there is that with Google Apps Suite, storing and sharing of files in cloud is possible, as file updates are automatically saved and stored in the drive, so everyone can always have access to the latest version of the document that we could be working on. Now, when it comes to the rating, next slide, please. We as system users will rate it as a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 because it almost never crashes. I mean, I'm not aware when Google Apps would have crashed, so we would give it a 10, right? And it adds value to the university by facilitating customer intimacy, because we as students are viewed as customers to the university, and it adds value by helping to achieve that customer intimacy and keeping everyone connected. And the effectiveness of the performance is influenced by culture, environment, and structure. Leading on to the last slide. Yeah, so just like that, we have come to the end of our presentation, and I would like to conclude by saying that all modern organizations are hierarchical, specialized, and impartial, using explicit routines to maximize efficiency. And all organizations have their own cultures and politics arising from differences in interest groups, and they are affected by their surrounding environment. Again, organizations differ in goals, groups served, social roles, leadership styles, incentives, types of tasks performed, just to name a few. And when it comes to the differences, and these features help to explain differences in organizations' use of information systems. Information systems and the organization in which they are used interact with and influence each other. And the introduction of a new information system will affect the organizational structure, goals, work design, values, competition between interest groups, decision-making, and day-to-day behavior. And we all know that this is evident as we did our own research for the forum that we created a couple weeks ago, And at the same time, information system must be designed to serve the needs of important organizational groups and will be shaped by the organization structure, business process, goal, culture, politics, and management. I just keep on alluding to these stuff as, again, it's very important when it comes to the implementation of a new information system in an organization. You have to take those factors into account. And information technology can reduce transaction and agency costs, and such changes have been accentuated in organizations using the internet. Lastly, new systems disrupt established patterns of work and power relationships, So there's often considerable resistance to them when they are introduced. But I mean, that's obvious as new system is introduced, probably employees might go against it as they may not be fully up to date with technology, and the resistance might even come over through senior management. But I'll just conclude the presentation with this, and I'll leave the end conclusion up to you all. Having said this, thank you all for your undivided attention, and we will now proceed with the other presenters.
Thank you, Group 1. Very professional and thorough. Students, it's time to evaluate group number 1. Kindly complete the evaluation form. Their grade is now in your hands. While you're completing that, I'm going to ask group 2 to get ready to share their screen.
Miss, I joined late. Which evaluation form?
Okay, let me share it in the chat once more. Right, you should see a link, and part of the grade comes from you, the class. You're evaluating their presentation skills, and the rest of the grade comes from me.
Miss, each presentation is for how long?
They have 30 minutes max, so they could do 15 to 30 minutes.
Okay, so my group won't present today, I suppose.
No, all the groups won't go today. We have other sessions that we will schedule you in.
Okay, thank you, Miss. I'll leave you a message, by the way. Yeah, I have a situation. I'll leave you a message.
Okay.
Miss, what do we put under where it says topic on the form?
Just the title of the presentation. So here we have identifying opportunities for strategic information systems.
Thanks.
Yeah, all groups should have the same topic.
We could start, Miss.
Yes, go ahead.
So good night, teacher. Good night, class. Tonight we'll be presenting practical project number 3. Tonight we will be presenting practical project number 3, identifying opportunities for strategic information systems. Our presenters for tonight are Kyler Lopez, Leonce Flowers, Jenny Pinello, Alyssa Hoare, and myself, Dejan McFadden.
So this is our UB website. So now we'll be looking at how UB uses the web. So UB uses the web by establishing an e-learning platform to transmit course information between students and instructors. It also provides a general website through the World Wide Web to showcase the university. It offers a registration portal for use by students, administrators, and instructors. It provides each student with a special email account to communicate. The university also uses the web by allowing applicants from other countries and Belize to use the UB website to acquire information about academics, admissions, campus life, and news and events. The UB uses the web also to provide admissions assistance through downloadable application forms, program seeking, tuition fees, financial aid forms, and virtual touring.
So the business analysis of the University of Belize. So on August 1st, 2000, five institutions, the University College of Belize, the Belize Technical College, the Belize Teachers Training College, the Belize School of Nursing, and the Belize College of Agriculture. They all joined forces to become the University of Belize. And all of us may know it as UB. So in the beginning, classes and communications were often face-to-face, and both students and instructors had to do every administrative task manually, which were time-consuming and more costly. However, UB has found it necessary to evolve into a mixed school where technology advancements are taken into considerations and operating systems are being upgraded in an effort to compete with other universities. Following, in 2020, the University of Belize was forced to move entirely online and adapt quickly into changes that were caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. In order to accommodate students, the University of Belize now offers online courses in abundance using the e-learning system called Moodle. Also, information technology at the University of Belize has been influenced by its business procedures, organizational structure, cultural values, political outlook, corporate goals, and external environment, which we will be focusing on.
So we have the organizational features of UB that we will be touching on right now.
Okay, so the business process. The general business process of UB include the admissions process, program change, other drop or withdrawal of courses and payments. The following outlines the business process when using website. Number 1, internal and external users can obtain general information about the university's history, calendar, annual report, faculty, and obtain specific characteristics about programs via UB website. 2, application forms can be downloaded from the website but must be manually completed. 3, students can gain access to open source course management system, Moodle, student email, and ZeniGrid. Number 4, Moodle allows users to share materials, hold online discussion, take tests, postpone assignments, and post grades. 5, student portal allow users to get grades, register, and get invoices. Lastly, 6, students can make payment via a bank deposit. Now the culture. Number 1 is a command and control organization. 2, provide excellence in higher education, research, and service for national development. 3, provide relevant, affordable, and accessible educational and training programs. 4, ensure graduates are responsible, analytical, self-confident, disciplined, ethical, entrepreneurial, and skilled communicators. 5, ethnic diversity among students, such as the Mayas, Mestizo, Creole, Garifuna, Chinese, Mennonites, etc. Lastly, 6, the classroom encompasses working middle-aged students, young adult students, and adolescent students.
The University of Belize structure is as follows. Divisionalized bureaucracy. Traditional hierarchical organizational structure. UB offers various courses and has various departments, each requiring trained professionals, but all set rules and procedures. But all follow set rules and procedures. These rules and procedures are centralized and formulated by the Board of Trustees that oversee that the goals and objectives are accomplished. Professional bureaucracy. Rely on highly trained professionals who have some control on their own work, but decision-making is decentralized. The environment is as follows. The University of Belize has 4 campuses: Belmopan, Belize City, Central Farm, Punta Gorda, and the University of Belize also owns and manages 2 marine fuel stations at Calabash and Hunding Key. The physical structure of the campuses are in deplorable conditions, with the exception of the main campus in Belmopan. It also offers the following. The University of Belize offers classes online and face-to-face. They offer high standard art education, practically a government institution. They offer well-trained educators who assist in providing a high standard of education and understanding of students. They have a social environment for students who, at work, and the activities are planned by the student council. The students within the institutions are expected to cooperate and socialize with their peers while learning.
Politics. Organizational politics are people within an organization who hold various positions with specialty and perspective within that section. This would result in them to have various viewpoints on how resources or punishments or rewards are to be issued or distributed. This would affect employees and managers as they would result in political struggles for resource competition and conflict within the organization. The University of Belize uses the internal politics as the social structure for their workplace. Constant internal competition is often caused by changes within deans and chairs from time to time on the board. And people would find it hard to adjust with these constant changes in the top management. It makes it difficult for collaboration and innovation within the organization.
So the business strategy or the management decision. In the University of Belize, they use cost leadership as a business strategy. So, 1, student academic advancement. 2, providing cost-effective and high-quality education. 3, it has technological development. 4, it allows for national development. And 5, professional development for students. Lastly, 6, it helps strengthen living conditions and quality of life.
So now we will look at the online information systems that could be accessed through the UB's website. The information systems include Moodle, Zenegrade, and Google Apps Suites. So Moodle is an online learning platform that offers students a personalized learning settings. Moodle allows teachers to provide course information, tests, quizzes that students can access and complete. We rated the success of Moodle as moderately successful, and we would say that it is an asset to UB. You could also access Zenegrade through UB's website. So Zenegrade provides student registration, course and grade monitoring, and viewing of students' accounts. We rated the success of Zenegrade as fairly successful, as sometimes it is down when it is the registration period. And so we said it's a liability to UB. Next, we have Google App Suites, which offers personalized UB email to students and teachers. Then Google App Suites also offers shared calendars, online document editing and storage, video meeting, and other collaborative productivity tools. We rated this as very successful and an asset to you. So our conclusion. So for our conclusion, we came up with some suggestions for strategic information systems for UB. So first, we have low-cost leadership. We suggest that UB customize their website so that the entire application process may be done online, which includes the ability to upload verified scanned documents such as transcripts, passport photos, social security card, in addition to the application form. Students who want to apply will find this more convenient to them, and it will cut down the on manual labor done by the university staff, saving both time and money. And this could result in a higher number of students enrolling. We also touched on product differentiation. UB should switch to a more user-friendly online platform, as Moodle continues to be somewhat challenging for some lecturers and students to let students upload their work, and they can utilize a more user-friendly and a simple to use information system. The number of students enrolling in online courses will then increase, or if the program cannot be replaced, there should be a more proactive training for students and teachers utilizing Moodle. This concludes our presentation.
Thank you, Group 2. So once again, you have the opportunity to evaluate this group. I'll paste the link to the form just in case you didn't get it.